Welcome everyone to Daily Commitment, where we do a little bit of exercise every day. We were doing a little too much exercise, so now we're doing a little bit less exercise, but we're doing a little more stretching. So we're going to be rotating our exercises. We're not going to be doing squats today. We're not going to be doing pull-ups today. We did those the last 2 days. This day is a day for shoulder presses. But before we do our shoulder presses, we're going to go ahead and do the stretches that are appropriate. Stretches that are appropriate for the squats, where our injury is we have a little bit of a strain in this inner abductor or adductor muscle. A little bit of a strain. It's not bad. We could probably pump out a bunch of squats. Even today, we could probably pump out a bunch of squats. But let's use today for stretching and recovering. You can stretch a lot more often than you can work out. So we're doing this stretch here where you put this under. Now if you do this stretch, it's more hamstrings if you stretch towards. But if you tuck this under and go forward and keep your back straight, you're going to feel, I'm actually going to rotate my leg a little bit. I'll back up a little bit so you guys can see a little better. You'll feel that adductor muscle. I should look up whether it's abductor or adductor. I think it's abductor, but it goes right up in here. And I can feel that stretch, man. It feels good. It feels good there. And I think this is something I need. I think I need to tuck this a little more. I'm getting a little more hamstring right now. And then let's keep that back straight. Now the thing about stretches is they take longer. You need a little more patience. You feel like they're not important. You want to skip them. Don't skip them, guys. That's why I'm putting it right here at the beginning of today's daily commitment. We're not just going to jump into exercises, which I like to do. And I guess I maybe do think there's something wrong with jumping into exercises because I'm rubbing my nose. But let me tell you something. I don't think there's anything wrong with jumping into exercises sometimes. But if you've hurt yourself at all doing exercises, then it's time to think about how awesome stretching is. They got a whole religion around it with yoga and stuff. So just get into it, man. Get into the stretching. You can build muscle through stretching, believe it or not. You can get stronger through stretching. You know that Tom Brady guy? He was big into stretching. Victor Wembanyama, if you're a sports guys, you know Victor's lighting the league on fire and he hasn't gotten injured, not really. And he's doing that with the frame that normally, a big long frame like that, would get injured in basketball. But guess what? He's been onto this stretching thing from the beginning. This conditioning is key. It's key. And we want to avoid it. Big tough guys, we want to avoid all this kind of stuff. Wussy stretching. Well, guess what? I was doing great in daily commitment. I've had a lot of success many days by keeping the amount of exercise I do low at only 70% of my max and moving up slowly, which has been great. But a couple times I've pushed myself too far, or I've been a little more tired, haven't gotten it quite right, and I've injured myself a few times doing this. Probably would have done less if I'd done more stretching. So anyway, we're going to stretch a little bit longer on this. Just a little bit longer. I'm going to stick up my foot a little bit more, change the angle a little bit more, and really stretch it. It feels good. I guess it doesn't, you know what, as a guy, you're used to like motion. This is an exercise. This kind of static stretch here doesn't feel like much of an exercise. Doesn't feel like you're pushing. You're not using your muscles the same way. It's not as manly, but let me tell you something. Your body's going to thank you for it. The other thing I'm going to do here, let's think about stretching our other muscle. So the other one we got to talk about is our elbow. So it's my left inner abductor here that's sore on my squats. On my pull-ups, which we're doing great on, we're up to 8 as our maximum. But this right here, it's not a whole muscle going across. It's like right here, this part of the elbow. So what I'm going to do here is, I have my guy right here. This is a recommendation of one of my viewers, Scoobs I'm Hungry. He said do these little reverse curls here. And I guess I could do them with a bigger weight, but let's not. It's just a little stretchy guy. We're going to do this, and another viewer said to try the shoulder presses, and I needed a shoulder exercise anyway, so we're going to do those too. Let's do a little more stretching. By the way, it's starting to stretch out. I can feel it because I'm giving it the time, and I'm taking the time to do it. So this should help our elbow a little bit here, the left elbow. Do a few of these. You're doing not your pronator muscle, you're doing the opposite of your pronator muscle, which I don't know what that's called. But that's supposed to help the elbow. A little massage in here, helping the elbow. And then this shoulder press is actually supposed to be helping the elbow too. By the way, that felt great. I gotta keep up. I gotta keep stretching every day here. The videos are gonna be longer. They might be more boring, but I think it's all worth it. Now let's do the shoulder press. Now I don't know how many of these I did last time, and counting and slowly increasing the amount is a big part of what I've been doing. So maybe I need to start counting again, but that's okay. Let's make sure we get our head tucked, right? We want a good head position. Tucked, vertical sort of, but your head not like this, right? Like that. And that's important because you don't want to hit your nose when you come up. Now, let's see what this looks like. I want to make sure this is even. We're going to come down. All right, so we're going to do 1, 2, this is only like 45 pounds, but this should help the elbow apparently. 3, again, this is the opposite of the motion we do. 4, that we're doing with the pull-ups, right? The pull-ups are a pulling motion. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. This should actually help the pull-ups. 13. We probably do a couple more, but we're not trying to burn all the way up here. And that, again, you're doing the opposite of what you're doing. That's why we're doing these too. It's all to release that elbow for those awesome pull-ups, which we're going to do more of. So it seems like most of what we do is stretching today, but that's okay. That's what it's about, guys. And these stretches you can actually do just like you do a lot of times your pull-ups and stuff, doing multiple sets. I'm not a big set guy. I tend to do one set and be done for the day. It's part of that little bit of exercise and then build up slowly, but I've done sets before too. And you can do the same thing with your stretching. So we're doing another little set here of this stretching. But I'm gonna go ahead and fade out on this. I think you guys know what we're up to today. Keep it up, guys. It's beautiful out here. Check out the videos where I play guitar and walk around in the woods and stuff. That's great. That's another part of daily commitment. That's a commitment. I got 2 commitments. One is to do an exercise every day and to increase my exercise slowly. The other one is to go get some cardio, spend an hour, get 4 miles or so in there is usually what I'm shooting for. I have done as many as 6. Sometimes I'll do as few as 2, but get out there and get that cardio every day too. Get that walk and explore. Anyway, see you guys next time right here. Daily Commitment. Bye, guys.